Always a good time at Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Katie Stazak is back. She was on a little sojourn for a couple of days. Went up to see Saratoga. Glad to have you back.
Thanks, Ron. It's great to be back. I missed you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun while you were gone, but it's going to be more fun now that you're back. And you know what? We got to carry over in the Rainbow Six. They did not hit it while you were away. It's
Music
up
to my ears.
$31,600 plus in the Rainbow Six. So that starts in race number 4 with a 9-race card. I've been betting this pretty heavily yesterday. And, of course, someone hit the super high five yesterday in the last race, and it paid like double digits again. I can't believe it. Some people have this thing figured out. You know, once we get like $2,500 in it, they nail it, they bet it, and they hit it. So we're going to start anew with both the Rainbow Six and, of course, the Pick 5 and all that throughout the afternoon. We got 2 Pick 4s, so it should be a lot of fun. Fast main track, firm turf course. It's Florida. Of course it's fast and firm. It's always fast and firm. Not truly, but most of the time, 98% of the time. And if it does rain, it's a dry rain. So we have a good day ahead of us. We're going to take a look at our first race. 1 mile, 1/16th on the turf. These are claimers, 3-year-olds and up. Non-winners of 3 races in life, $16,000. And Katie wanted to go back and show you the performance of Muser last time out.
Yeah, we're going to take a look back. This is from April 23rd, and this is at this same level against non-winners of 3. And I was impressed by the horse in here, and that's Muser. Going to make a 4-wide bid to get up for second. Guess who he's beaten by? Only 3/4 of a length by a horse named Pickett's Corner. And this is what caught my eye, because you're going to see Pickett's Corner win. He's on a 2-race win streak, and we watched him last week, and he should have won. He had a terrible trip.
That's right.
Was much the best in that race.
Right.
And I think with seeing that horse running second to him, only beaten 3/4 of a length, you have to put him somewhere on the ticket.
Yeah, you know, and his last race was actually on a good main track,
Yes.
so we're sort of zeroing in on his performances on the turf, which will happen today. But I did go with the horse you have in second, just flip-flopped at our top 2 selections. Eduardito, this one is stepping up to the next logical level after following, I thought, a really nice $35,000 maiden score. Comes back and beats $16,000 2 lifetime claimers at this same distance. Gustavo Delgado was the trainer. Tyler Gaffleone trying to notch the Gelding's 3rd consecutive turf victory. So I went with the hard hand with that. But for all the reasons that you mentioned with Muser, got that one on my ticket.
Absolutely. Both of those, I think, are probably the 2 best horses in the race. But we also seem to like the other horse in here, the 6 Dominate, we both have on the ticket.
Well, he was third behind that particular dead Pickett's Corner Muser that afternoon. So going off that performance, he stretches out now. I thought he was a game second at this versus this level of competition. That was going 7.5 furlongs. Terry Pompey, Eddie Castro. I think this horse is a major player in there. If you key off what you did, Pickett's Corner and Muser, this horse is right in the bunch with that. But like I said, Eduardito, hard to win 3 in a row, but let's see if he can do it today. So I think we got the top 3 in there.
Yeah, absolutely. The only other slight challenge with Eduardito is stepping up to non-winners of 3, another big task, but he's certainly on a hot streak.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was it. But I would not leave, as I said, the 3 or the 6 off your tickets for the early daily double. We're going to the main track for race number 2, 1 mile claimers. They're 3 and up, non-winners of 2 races in life, or 3-year-olds. $12,500 is the claiming level, and we both went with the number 7, Smart as Fox, and David Fox is pretty smart.
He is pretty smart. They were waiting for, the owners were waiting for a horse to name after trainer David Fox, who is a longtime supporter of South Florida racing, always does well. And this one really opened eyes with his maiden-breaking victory. But he's kind of been a little bit inconsistent since, but this is a big class drop for him today. He just ran at the $25,000 level and going to return to the main track, and that's where he broke his maiden so impressively, and it was at this mile distance. I think with the class drop and kind of returning to where they've seen him run some of his best races, it sets him up really well here.
Yeah, I just thought he was devoid of any speed when he was on the turf course. It looked like he just lagged behind and really never fired. So I agree with you. That's why I put it on. Plus, there's an abundance of speed in this race, so I think he's going to sit a nice trip, and I think the move to the main track is going to be good for him. In second, I put the number 2, Roll on the Navajo, and this one moved to the Randy Prasad Bonvita claim. Wheels back in only 6 days rest today. He responded last time out to a drop in competition. He was impressive. He dominated the field. He won by 9 lengths, but it was condition claimers going 3/4 of a mile. Short turnaround. A little bit of a guess on my part if he's going to be ready to go, and to see that you did not fall for it. You did not put the 2 Roland the Navajo on your ticket.
I couldn't with that short of rest, but you have to be impressed by the last performance, and if he runs the likes of that, he will definitely be somewhere up there late. But I think the one Just for Fun is another horse that you have to have on the
Just
ticket.
for Fun, it goes from the rail today. He showed speed. He weakened late and back-to-back starts against this level of competition. Tyler Gaffalione, Henry Collazo, I think they look like logical choices in there.
Yeah, and this one has consistently done well at a mile. Every time he's run at this distance, he's hit the board. I would easily have him on top of the ticket, but I think he's just facing some horses today that have faced a little bit tougher company themselves.
The main track, to be honest, it's always, usually at Gulfstream Park, and has been over the last couple of days. It's hard to really close from behind, but I think there's enough speed in this race to help the number 7, Smart as a Fox. And this one kicks off the first of 2 pick 4s on the afternoon, a 50-cent wager. That's races 2, 3, 4, and 5. The third race this afternoon is a 6.5 furlong sprint. These are claimers. They're fillies and mares, 3 and up, $12,500. Select field of 6 runners, and it's named for our groom of the month in here, and that is Arturo Martinez. Congratulations to Arturo. And I went with, we're not in agreement at all in this race, are we?
Actually, we are, because I think there's an error there. I do have the one Duchess of Wicklow on the top of my ticket, and there's plenty of good reasons, so explain more.
Well, Duchess of Wicklow is stretching out to a distance where she's never tasted defeat. She's had 2 races at the distance, 2 wins. After stalking the pace and drawing clear to defeat $12,500 condition claimers going 6 furlongs. That was on a good track, and she should see almost the same exact pace scenario that afforded her that victory last time out. Undefeated at the distance, albeit only 2 starts. Looks like the logical one up there.
Absolutely. And take a look, 2 starts back, she finished behind a filly named Sweet Basil, who just won the Alachua handicap here last week.
That's right.
So there's some nice looking back class with the company she's faced.
Well, in second, I used the number 2, Yes, Ms. Olga, and this one a popular sort, claimed in 4 consecutive races, stepping up, stretching out, drawing off. I actually put in my analysis, drawing off with zeal. That's how much I like this performance to defeat 6,250 claimers going 3/4 of a mile. Also on a good track, Antonio Sano, apprentice Harry Hernandez. Looks like a logical choice in there. And somebody likes this horse. They keep claiming him 4 consecutive starts.
A very, very popular horse here, always getting claimed. The only concern is that I think there's a bit of speed in this race. She is one of 3 fillies in here that are committed front runners. In my house, and this is she also, committed front runners. So the only question is, will she burn out on the front end? We talked about it. The trip is just going to should work out perfectly for Duchess of Wicklow.
Yeah, that's why I really like Duchess of Wicklow in there. Now, you also used the number 6, My House, along with me, who's cutting back to a sprint today.
Yeah, that should definitely suit her better. This one, similarly, has won 2 of her last 3 starts. All of these fillies have really been running consistently well. She won her only start at the distance, going to cut back from 1 mile and a 16th today. But again, afraid there might be a little too much committed speed up front for her, but I think she can hold on for a piece.
Yeah, now this is sort of the now horses in excellent form and everything. Josie Gomez will be in the saddle, but after all said and done, it sure looks like they're going to have to beat the number 1, Duchess of Wicklow, in race number 3. Race number 4 this afternoon is where the Rainbow 6 starts, and it's a 5 furlong maiden 2-year-old races, maiden special weight conditions here. Scratch the 2, Union Vow, scratch the 7, hard nut to crack. And please note there's a workout on the number 3, Cyber Jots, at Gulfstream Park, 3 furlongs on May 26 in 38.31. You'll get all that information when Pete comes on and updates you on the thing. So a missing work on that horse, and like I said, 38-1. Brighton Lane. Let me explain to you about Brighton Lane. This one is a full brother to $1.8 million earner Jackson Ben, but he's also a half brother to, I know, one of our favorite horses in here at the track right now, running Grand Shores. Debuts with trainer Stanley Gold. Listen to Stanley Gold. He's won with 4 of his 5 first-time 2-year-old starters. Lots to like about this number 1 Brighton Lane.
So much. I'm very excited to see this one. A huge fan. Loved Jackson Bend, loved Grand Shores, just both hard-knocking runners. And trainer Stanley Gold just has been so hot. He had another incredibly impressive debut winner with Ballet Diva. And this one also a full brother to Southern Barbecue from the Stan Gold barn that just returned from some considerable time off after his 2-year-old season. And he won first time out as a 3-year-old. So it looks like this pedigree is just cannot lose.
Yeah, you know, but the only problem, if there is a little bit of a problem, the inside post was not a problem with Ballet Diva yesterday, but that is the only concern. You know, 2-year-old first-time starters breaking from the rail, but his horse yesterday just went out. And, you know, our compadre, Ed Gray, was pointing out these horses just change leads at the right time. They look so well, these first-time starters, so we'll see if that one can do it. In second, we both have the 6 Wild Pussycat, who's the son of Wildcat Air, debuting for Wesley Ward. A couple of solid works over the track. Trainer Ward, he's good with his freshman runners, but his freshman runners have not been running that great here compared to what Stanley Gold has done. You got to put him on the ticket. You got to respect him. Edgar Prado in the saddle.
A few of the 2-year-olds that Wesley Ward has run here, I think, have pedigrees that are more suited to the turf. And I think that'll show up later in their careers if they're starting on the dirt. The one race that Stanley Gold lost with a 2-year-old was won by Wesley Ward, so he could turn the tables again. In this one, a son of Wildcat Air, they're known for their precociousness. They do run well on both surfaces, so we'll see what this one does.
Well, one of my favorite trainers with 2-year-olds is Kathleen O'Connell, and she's got the 5 Capitini, who's a gelded son of Untouchable, debuting today. Got 4 stamina-enhancing workouts over at Gulfstream Park West. That is our sister track across town. That's a pretty deep surface. When horses work out over there, they really get legged up in there. And Kathleen O'Connell, one of my favorites with 2-year-olds.
Yeah, she and Stanley Gold are always the ones that are hot and going at it during the Florida Sire Stakes series here at Gulfstream. So exciting to see this one running. This one's owned by Gilbert Campbell, another big supporter of the Florida Sire Stakes. Always has top 2-year-olds in the series, so those are connections to watch for sure.
Well, that is race number 4, and you can tell how excited we are about these 2-year-olds because it's new beginnings for them, and Stanley Gold has just been a force to reckon with in these 2-year-old races. Let's go to race number 5, 1 mile and 1/16. We're back on the turf. Maidens 3 and up, maiden special weight conditions in here. We do have a scratch in here of number 1, Good Rider. I went with the number 5, Kier Royal on top. A recent gelding stretching out today to 1 mile and a 16th after making an inside bid. Failing to finish 4th, but it was behind a repeat winner called Element. It was a maiden special weight event going 7.5 furlongs. Kathy Redfo, Jonathan Gonzalez. Been watching first-time geldings. It's my new little angle that I've been watching here, thus putting the number 5, Kier Royal, on my ticket. I see you got it in second, but you did go with the number 7, Rock That Bird.
I think this is a really wide-open leg of the Rainbow Six, and our picks definitely suggest that. I went with the 7, Rock That Bird, a son of Birdstone, a former $150,000 purchase at the Keeneland September sale as a yearling. Going to debut today for trainer Gustavo Delgado as a 4-year-old. 6 works on record, including a bullet move over at Gulfstream Park West. Like we mentioned, the track can give horses a leg up. That was on May 8th, and Harry Hernandez is going to be in the irons. That seems to be Delgado's new go-to trainer. And Delgado, 40%. I thought that was a pretty impressive number with horses debuting in routes.
Well, number 3, Farrell Bob, you know, is the morning line favorite, and you can understand why he's the logical choice to be on the ticket after posting that best last race buyer figure of 75. He was 3rd. He was 26-1 at this level and distance. I'm not quite that sure, but, you know, if you're a buyer aficionado, I'm sure you got to have this horse somewhere on your ticket. But it's very shaky in my part.
Well, it's a wide-open race. Certainly has a chance. I think you could make a case for many of the horses in this race.
Well, you know, I give it a long shot each and every day. So my long shot today was going to be the 4 over the limit. And why I say was going to be, because when I looked at the morning line, he was 4-1 today. So not much of a long shot. He stretched out to 1 mile and a 16th, stepping up. And I thought he wouldn't be, you know, he would be bigger or longer odds, higher odds, I should say, because he was stepping up. He responded to the blinkies. He was 3rd. It was against $75,000 maidens going 7.5 furlongs, but our line maker must have spotted something and put him on there. 4-1. And if I could get 5 or 6-1 on this horse, I'll put him on the ticket.
You should, and you know, someone, our line maker, he's seeing the promise just as you are. I think you guys are reading each other's minds.
Anything else on there that you wanted?
I threw in the 8 True Diplomacy. This one is a son of English Channel, who I think is just perfectly placed for this start. This one stretched out to this distance last time out on May 13th, put in his best performance to date, just got up for second, was only beaten 3/4 of a length. That was, again, against $50,000 maiden claimers, but he did finish third in a maiden special weight against older horses 2 starts back, so I just thought this was a nice spot for him.
Yeah, and I just think the key word in this race is all.
Yes.
When you're thinking together, it's wide open affair. Let's go to race number 6, 5.5 furlongs, maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and up, $10,000. We will have 7 runners in the field, and we're going to go back and show you the horse that I have in second that Katie wanted to go back and look at, and that is the one Mighty Warrior that day.
Yeah, we have 2 warriors in this race, and they know each other well. They faced each other in a similar race. This was with a $12,500 tag on May 2nd. You're going to see the one Mighty Warrior close pretty well along the rail to get up for third, a length and a quarter behind Forest Warrior, who's the 7 there. And I just thought the one Mighty Warrior of those 2 was going better of the 2 late, able to make up some ground there along the rail, which can be hard to do.
Well, I did not use the morning line favorite in here talking about the morning line. I went with the number 4 Dragon Master, and Warriors are always beat by Dragon Masters in races, I think, if you play those video games. I'm not sure about that. I'm guessing there. This one is turning back to 5.5 furlongs. Made a middle move, got the lead before settling for second. It was against $12,500 maidens going 3/4 of a mile. I just off that performance thought this was a logical choice there. I think it's another wide open affair, and as you can see, we are in agreement with number 1 Mighty Warrior and the 6 Forest Warrior, and well, you would have the 4. I can't see it's behind our thing there. So we're basically in agreement with these 3 horses in this race.
Yeah, using the same 3 horses, and if that angle turns out to be right and Dragon Master wins, that's going to be a new one that I will follow in my handicapping. The Dragons always beat the Warriors.
Absolutely. Check it out, you'll see.
That will be a high percentage in the form next time out.
Let's go to race number 7, 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf. This is our feature race of the afternoon. It's an overnight handicap, $60,000. Fillies and mares, 3 years old and up. Scratch the 1 Sweet Morgan, scratch the 8 Almost an Angel, and note there's a blinkers on the number 3 horse, Street of Gold, which was a late change, and I like this horse a lot more now with the blinkers on it. I went with the number 10 horse in the EB Rider, but we want to go back and show you Miss Margaret's last performance.
Yeah, we're going to take a look back at the Honey Rider Stakes, and Miss Margaret is just becoming a favorite of mine because she seems to always show up and run a race, but she's had a little bit of bad luck. She really needs a little bit more luck to get a breakthrough win, but you're going to see her make a strong bid. She gets up through an opening along the rail and is just going to miss by a neck in the Honey Rider to Red Sachet, who gets the advantage a little bit on the outside here, I think. This is just such a consistent filly. She's placed in 3 stakes for trainer Milton Wolfson and has run against some top quality fillies as well, including Lismore, Isabella Sings, and Celestine. All stakes winners are graded stakes placed horses. And I just thought, even though she's going to face older horses for the first time today, she's a bit of a standout amongst this group. Has hit the board in 9 straight starts dating back to October. But I know you used an older horse who does look good in here.
And that was the reasoning behind it. I went with the 10 EB Rider, stretching out to a mile in the 16th. 8 previous races would win at this distance. Rallied to finish second. That was in the 1 mile, $70,000 powder break. Marty Wilson, daughter Blue Gas Cat, working strongly for this assignment. Miss Margaret, first time ever she's going to face older horses. I like her a lot in there, but I just went with the older horse in there, and I just think that the Miss Margaret, a great horse, got to have it on your ticket. The other horse I was talking about that's getting blinkers on, that's the 3 Street of Gold. Still looking for her first victory since 2013, but look who she's been competing against. Some of the best grass fillies and mares in the country, which includes that recent 9th place finish. It was a 9th place finish, but beaten a little over 4 lengths. That was in the 12 furlong grade 3 Bewitch at Keeneland last time out. I think the trainer Eric Reed finds a nice spot for this horse, the daughter of Street Sense, who I love on the turf. Getting those blinkers on, this could be the class of the field here.
I might regret not putting her on the ticket. I think with the blinkers I may have, but with that late change, I still had her off the ticket. But she should really find herself well spotted in this race.
Yeah, and who else did you use? And use the number 9 horse in there, Will to Shine.
Well, trainer David Brady has been on a bit of a hot streak recently, and I think he could do well, try to add a stakes win to his recent winnings with Will to Shine. This is a 6-year-old returned from a 2-month layoff to finish second behind the talented Charlie A. from the Michelle Nihei barn last time out on May 15th thought she could move forward in her second step back from the layoff.
Let's go to race number 8 today. 6 furlongs, maiden claimants, fillies and mares, 3 and up, $16,000. Scratch the number 6, Talita, who was my actual third choice, and it did not have it on top. And I want to note that the number 8, Sweet Hall, will race with blinkers on. Another horse that I like with the equipment change that we're finding out about today. I did go with the number 1 horse in here, and that is Nocturnal Q. Was given some time off and is turning back today to 3/4 of a mile. First start since dueling for the lead and weakening to finish 4th as the favorite, going 7 furlongs. It was back on April 9th. Now, my question to you, did you have Tartalita on top of your ticket?
I didn't. You know what? I actually didn't have Tartalita on the ticket at all today.
Oh, so I was just wondering, because I looked down and said, I had it in third. I wasn't really positive about it. But you did go with the horse having second, which is a first-time starter, and that is Annie Bell.
Yeah, I thought I'd take a shot with the first-timer here. This is a daughter of Concord Point by Tappet. Is aggressively placed here for the debut, again for trainer Kathleen O'Connell. 7 published works. The most recent was The Bullet over at Gulfstream Park West on May 10th. The only concern is that she was purchased for $65,000 and is going to debut for $16,000.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a red flag in there, but boy, what a choice spot to try to start your career off in here, because there's a lot of horses that have not run well in the past and everything, a lot of ifs and buts about the number here. So first-time starter sometimes is a logical way to go. Let's tell you about that 8 Sweet Hall. As I mentioned, going to be outfitted with blinkers, hoping to alleviate the problem that she has, and that's showing speed and retreating. But she's dropping from the $35,000 level to the $16,000 level, and I think it's another plus for her in what, on paper, is absolutely a wide-open affair.
Between the class drop, the equipment change, and the second start back from the layoff, a lot of factors really working in her favor today.
Yeah, and we always mention the Rainbow Six tickets that we're putting together. This is another one where you have to go a little deep in there. Anything else? No, we're basically in agreement there, just got them boxed up differently. Let's go to race number 9, our final race on the Friday card. 5 furlongs on the grass, turf, claimers, 3 and up, non-winners of 2 or straight 3-year-olds. Scratch the 2, Crazy Bull. The jockey on the 4 is Rodney Subin. Scratch the 5, Touchdown Tom. Scratch the 7, Roxy Lucy. And we both went with number 6, All About Diva. And All About Diva is a boy. Right?
Yeah, this is...
Yeah, I got confused every time I wanted to write she.
I know, I felt the same way. This is a 3-year-old gelding. Going to return to the turf today. Let's take a look back at his last race, because I think this race is going to be all about Diva. Boy or girl, he's working it. Yeah, he is working it right here.
Yeah, he looks pretty good in there. He runs pretty nice.
He does run well. He's going to stay on to finish second, only beaten 3/4 of a length. And what I liked was this was his first time turf sprinting. Watch, he angles in a little bit, and I thought he closed really well here. And, he's going to return to turf sprinting. That was his first and only time. I think getting back to that is really going to make the difference. He was 5th over a good main track last time out. Should be much better on the turf.
Yeah, he went up there and he dueled for the lead in that race. He retreated. You put a line through those things. Looks like he wants the turf in there. The number 1 horse I have in second, you have in third, is Go Go Romeo. 2 for 4 in the money at this distance. 4 starts, no wins, but a second and a third. Going to turn back to 5/8 today after dueling for the lead. Was out there 5 wide, finished 4th against Similar. That was going 7.5 furlongs. I mentioned this ad nauseum. 7.5 furlongs on the Gulfstream turf is around 2 turns. 5 furlongs, of course, a sprint. Big difference. I think the turnback's going to help one Go Go Romeo.
I don't know if you looked at the 8 in here at all. Excellent Prospect was a horse I didn't put on the ticket, but I did look at quite a bit. And then I looked at the 3 Gemsung, and this one actually defeated Excellent Prospect 2 starts back. That was his first and only start again, turf sprinting. Drew off to a 1 1/4 length victory. So I thought, well, if I'm going to think about using Excellent Prospect, why don't I use the horse that beat him? Because he I think is really going to appreciate the stretch back. Went 7.5 furlongs last time out and tired to 6.
Right. We got. I also used the number 10 in here. That's My Space Cowboy. This one dropping, turning back to what is clearly his best distance so far. He's had 2 races at this distance with a win and a third. He broke from post 10 last time out. He showed brief interest and he faded. It was against $30,000 2 lifetime claimers. again, going 7.5 furlongs. I think the turnback going to break closer this time. He's seat 10, but there's 3 scratches to his inside, and I think the turnback might help this horse today. My Space Cowboy, Kathleen O'Connell, main rider, Eduardo Nunez in the saddle.
They could have a good day today, I think. But again, I think this is another race that's pretty wide open because I also looked pretty hard at My Space Cowboy. I think you're going to have to go deep in quite a few legs and try to find your single somewhere.
Yeah, and that Super High 5 is in this race too, and as I mentioned, they nailed it yesterday, so see if they can do it again today. Well, that is how we see the 9-race card on Friday. As you can tell, it's a daunting task trying to hit the Rainbow Six today, but that's what makes it so much fun. And if you get that one unique ticket, you know, going into the thing with over $30,000 in the pool, you can get a nice payoff for only a 20-cent wager. So, Katie, that's what we got today. We have a fast main track, a firm turf course, and we got the Rainbow Six in race number 4.
And we've got a nice stake. It should be a great day. I'm happy to be back because this weather here is just out of this world.
Well, good luck, everybody.